Welcome to the President's Diary, a weekly program where we take a look at His Excellency Dr. President Irfaan Ali's week of activities. During a virtual press conference on Monday on his administration's one-year anniversary, President Ali announced that public servants will be receiving salary increases before the end of the year.
My vision and the vision of the government is not only about salaries. And let me assure you first of all, though, before I continue, that the public servants will receive salary increases before the end of the year. And it will be retroactive. So let me be clear on that. They will receive salary increases and it will be retroactive.
President Ali said his government is actively looking at other ways to improve public servants' lives.
I am not only looking at salary increases. We are looking at the mechanism that would allow every public servant to own their own home. They also benefit from the COVID, the help with the COVID cash grant. But we want to empower public servants so that their children too can benefit from the scholarship program, many of whom are already benefiting. The public servants themselves are benefiting. And we are happy about this.
In addition to housing and education initiatives, which are putting money back into the pockets of public servants, the government has also implemented measures to support citizens during the pandemic. President Ali assured the nation that the government will be taking a holistic approach to the improvement of the lives and livelihood of the citizens.
Dr. Ali also called on teachers to be responsible and get vaccinated against the deadly COVID-19 disease.
The president said too many lives have been lost to COVID-19, hence his persistence when it comes to the vaccination drive.
We surely cannot expose the children to unvaccinated teachers. And I'm sure the teachers are responsible enough to understand this and understand the importance of vaccination.
President Ali said it is his government's intention to ensure that Guyana beats the pandemic.
Look at what is happening now in countries that had thought that they are completely ahead of the curve with one variant, Delta. And the longer Delta stays with us, the possibility of new variant emerges, according to the scientists. So this is not an easy battle. And any decision you make in this battle has elements of risk. You just have to measure those elements of risk and make the best possible decision in the holistic interest of the country.
Even as the country battles this disease, President Ali noted that the government is doing its best under the circumstances. He added that the government is currently pursuing the Pfizer vaccine for children.
Meanwhile, the president also committed to ensuring that the Caribbean community benefits from Guyana's wealth, which will be generated from the energy sector.
Guyana is not aiming to become any powerhouse. We are not aiming to demonstrate or flex any muscle or power. Our only aim is to enhance the prospect of all the people of this region. So whatever resources Guyana gets from this oil and gas sector and all other sector, I assure you, will resound not only to the benefit of Guyanese, but all the people of CARICOM. We are one people in CARICOM.
The president said he sees no distinction across the borders in the region. He added that Guyana is open to investment from CARICOM citizens.
That is our style in Guyana. But they're not only welcome, they will not only be welcome in the energy sector, there are massive opportunities in the other sectors. The prospects and opportunities in our energy sector, in our agricultural sector, in our manufacturing sector, in our industrial sector, in our hospitality sector, in our environmental sector, are also the prospect and opportunities for every investor in CARICOM.
Responding to the question, which was posed by a Trinidadian journalist, Dr. Ali noted that Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago have always enjoyed a strong, mutual, supportive relationship.
The head of state also clarified that the regional joint support teams are not a parallel police force, but rather a part of the existing structure.
The joint support teams were first discussed in the National Assembly in June, when the government sought and received a supplementary appropriation to fund their operationalization.
The regional joint support team cannot and will never be parallel to the Guyana Police Force. The police force is actively involved in this regional support team. What is the difference is that now you have a broadened interagency unit that would assist in crime fighting. It is not parallel, it is not separate. It is part of.
The president said the establishment of these teams is necessary to tackle evolving and more sophisticated forms of crime, which will require competencies across multiple institutions.
The agency has officers from intelligence agencies, from drug enforcement, from the police, from the joint services. It's an integrated approach. It brings varied skill sets together. The unit is highly trained and will be highly trained to respond to various security challenges. We have to build our capacity, and that is what is being done here.
Later on Monday, His Excellency received a virtual courtesy call from the Commonwealth Secretary-General, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland.
Among key areas discussed were the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and priority areas for Guyana's development. President Ali was accompanied by Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Todd.
On Tuesday, President Ali reaffirmed his government's position and intention of crafting and executing policies that will benefit all of Guyana.
The head of state and several members of his cabinet met a delegation from the Black Entrepreneurs Association and a high-level delegation from the United States of America at the office of the president. The Guyanese leader told the gathering that his government has been pursuing an agenda to improve the welfare and prosperity of all Guyanese. He also pointed to government's programs to ensure that the vulnerable sections of society are not left out of the country's development agenda. Dr. Ali said over the last year, his administration has been aggressively building on its promises after a protracted struggle for democracy following the March 2020 elections. He emphasized that it now rests on the collective shoulders of all stakeholders to ensure that Guyana never repeats its post-election experience.
Meanwhile, on Wednesday, His Excellency met with the executive members of the Chinese Association of Guyana. President Ali was joined by Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo. Also on Wednesday, the president reaffirmed his commitment to advancing bilateral relations with Germany and the European Union.
The head of state received the visit by Ambassador and Regional Director for Latin America and the Caribbean from the Federal German Foreign Office and German Ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. The two parties discussed several areas including Guyana's development agenda, climate change, smart agriculture, technology transfer, sustainable energy, manufacturing, robotics, urban and rural planning, the COVID-19 vaccination programs, and industrial development. President Ali also outlined his transformation agenda for the country.
His Excellency also met a visiting delegation from the World Bank and the International Finance Corporation, a member of the World Bank Group, to discuss Guyana's transformation agenda.
The visiting high-level team was led by the World Bank's Vice President responsible for Latin America and the Caribbean, Carlos Felipe Jaramillo, and the Country Director for the Caribbean, Lilia Buran-Suk. The head of state said while the oil and gas sector is important, it will not be the only focus moving forward. He said funds will be used to strengthen other sectors, including tourism, agriculture, education, health, ICT, and environmental services. President Ali said the most inhibiting factors to growth and development in the country are the cost of energy and the country's human resource capacity, both of which he noted the government is aiming to enhance. To this end, he said the government wants a dedicated funding partner for education. Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo and Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, also attended the meeting.
This has been the President's Diary, where we took a look at His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Irfaan Ali's week of activities. Thanks for watching. Join us again next week.